This video is brought to you by Phillips Mushroom Farms. The Phillips family has been growing mushrooms in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania since 1927. Visit the farm in Kennett Square for a self-guided growing exhibit and check out the website phillipsmushroomfarms.com for more information and the latest mushroom products. Jim, have you been foraging again?
No, I wish. No, these beautiful oyster mushrooms came from our friends at Phillips Family Mushroom Farms.
Oh, that was nice.
And there's a lot of different kinds of oyster mushrooms. There's actually blue oysters and golden oysters and pink oysters. The largest in the oyster family is called the king oyster, or the king trumpet mushroom, which we actually have another show on. These happen to be the most common kind of oyster mushroom, which are pearl oysters. And the Latin name for these is Pleurotus austriatus. And in Latin, that means sideways oyster. And so if you look at these, when you find them growing in the wild or when they're cultivated, they look like oysters stacked up, right? Yeah. So that's where that name comes from. It's actually one of the most commonly, although it's widely, you can find it in the wild, it's widely distributed in North America, Europe, Asia. It's also the most common cultivated mushroom. It is considered a saprophytic mushroom. What that means is it feeds on dead and dying trees and materials. So out in the woods when you find it, it'll be on the side of a tree that's down, that's fallen down.
Oh, sure.
And that's where you'll find it out in the wild. Okay,
so you know what I heard one time was that they can almost eat. Like,
yeah. So
what's it about?
Yeah. So oyster mushrooms are one of the few mushrooms that are carnivorous, and what they eat, they need nitrogen, for their metabolism or whatever, and so they can consume bacteria, but also they can consume teeny microscopic worms called nematodes, and so they're considered one of the few carnivorous mushrooms out there, which is kind of strange.
Well, it almost grosses me out, but I'm more intrigued with Mother Nature at this point.
That's right. Another interesting fact: oyster mushrooms have been used to clean up polluted soil with diesel oil, and it's been shown to convert about 95% of the oil into non-toxic compounds. It's also actually used the mycelium, which are these are the fruiting bodies. The mycelium, which are the roots, if you will, which is
the system underground,
have been used to make bricks and leather. Actually, it's interesting.
Yeah, that is cool. So now that there's so much to learn about these, but what about the health benefits? Because I know that there has to be a laundry list, as with all these other mushrooms. There has to be a laundry list of health benefits.
Oyster mushrooms have been shown to have antimicrobial properties, which means they can help fight bacterial and viral infections. They're incredibly nutrient rich. They've got a ton of not many calories, but a ton of vitamin B3 and B5 and potassium and iron. Interestingly enough, it's one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D. Typically in humans, we make vitamin D in our skin in response to the sun. Right. Well, oysters can do the same thing. So when oyster mushrooms are exposed to sun, shiitakes will do the same thing. When they're exposed to sun, they create vitamin D. Now it's not a ton, but it is a food source for vitamin D. We also know that like many mushrooms, they contain a compound, a polysaccharide called beta-glucan, which helps boost our immune system. Highly anti-inflammatory antioxidant. Oysters contain a unique antioxidant called ergothioneine, which is a very potent antioxidant, has anti-cancer properties and anti-inflammatory properties. The other interesting thing about oysters is they have a naturally occurring compound that's very similar to the statin medications that like Lipitor and Crestor, rosuvastatin, that have been shown to help lower cholesterol.
That is awesome.
Well, and if that's not enough, increasingly there's research looking at oyster mushroom extract in skin health, and so increasingly you're seeing mushroom extracts added to skincare products.
Yes, and I love my skincare, and I have actually, this is not really a trend so much. I guess it has been going on for a while, but it is becoming more popular to have that in the creams and the serums and things like that.
Exactly right.
So awesome.
Well, now that we know about the health benefits, why don't you tell us about how we can get all this wonderful nutrition and these health benefits into our bodies on a plate of food?
Yeah, well, have I got something for you? Now, just looking at it, you can probably see that, obviously it's a very delicate mushroom, and it has a very mild flavor, okay? And as with so many of these other mushrooms, you can grill it, bake it, saute them, put them in a whole host of different, there's recipe books, volumes just on mushroom recipes. But today, we're going to take this oyster and turn it into my bang bang chicken.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. I can't wait.
All right, let's get cooking. We've got everything set up, ready to make the bang bang chicken. And
Chickenless chicken.
Chickenless chicken.
There we go.
Yes. Right over here. So we're going to dredge and batter. So over here we have some whole wheat flour with, really you can do whatever. This is a very forgiving recipe. You can do whatever spices you want. Today we have oregano, thyme, paprika, garlic, onion, and a little bit of nutritional yeast within the flour. And then in the middle here, I have some soy milk with just a little bit, like a tablespoon or so of apple cider vinegar, and that creates our buttermilk.
Right, it curdles it, right?
Yeah, it does.
Crazy. It's like curdled.
It's
right?
nice and thick, yeah. And then right here we have my favorite, panko breadcrumbs, which makes it really nice and crunchy. And then eventually we're going to put everything in the air fryer. But first, what I want to do is cut up these mushrooms correctly, just so we can sandwich them. Okay, what we want to do is delicately kind of pull them apart a little bit, because we want these to fit on our bread like a sandwich. And what we're going to do here is put that, and just take your knife and cut so that you have like a flat-ish surface. Yeah. And what you can do is there's a couple ways you can do this. You can take the whole bunch if you want and cut so that they lay together like that. But, however you feel most comfortable. I'm going to take off that knobby part.
And by the way, Caryn, the word bang bang chicken.
Yeah. I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, so it actually comes from a Malaysian dish where they would take a cudgel, which is a wooden mallet, and whack the chicken to tenderize the fibers in the chicken before they made the dish. And the Mandarin word for the cudgel was bang.
Bang.
So it wasn't the bang bang part. It was actually the word they used for the mallet or the cudgel that they used to tenderize the chicken. So just in case you were wondering,
I love it.
I don't think we're going to need to bang the use the bang on these mushrooms, right?
I don't think so either. Okay, so we have our air fryer here, and I put a little bit of parchment paper right in there. Now, I already did one. We'll just do a couple more of these. What we're going to do here, and you don't have to get your hands all messy. Actually, let's take this big, actually pull that one in half. What we're doing here is we're submerging our mushrooms into the buttermilk. Get it nice, there we go, get it right in between those beautiful little petals, and then putting it into our flour.
I don't think I've ever heard mushroom.
I know.
I
Just
think those
to me,
are gills.
it reminds me of petals, flower petals. And now we're going to put it back in to our buttermilk, yes. And then finally over to our panko.
Wow, that looks amazing.
It's just, these things are so good.
And I love how the buttermilk really helps everything stick together, right?
It's better than just using, I think personally, than just using a regular just milk, quote unquote milk.
Sure.
Actually, do that guy again, and then.
Because it really does thicken it up, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It really helps everything really just stick on there. And then shake that off, and we'll do one more, because I think this will be 2 full sandwiches.
Well, I gotta have one for sure.
Oh, I know. Do you think I would ever not feed you?
That's one of the reasons I do this show, don't you know?
Oh, I do know. I do know. All right. Okay. So now we've got a full air fryer. I'm going to put the timer on for 14 minutes at 400 degrees, and then we'll be ready to build a sandwich. Smells good, huh?
Oh, it smells unbelievable.
I know.
I've been dying the whole time that air fryer's been going.
Look at this.
Holy cow.
Oh, I'm not even going to get them out yet. We're going to build, I'm going to build these sandwiches.
Now you're just teasing. That's not even fair.
I'm going to build our sandwiches. How's that? Okay, so we have some coleslaw here. And this is just made with vegan mayo. Oh,
and the recipe's in the show notes, correct?
That's right. Recipe for everything is in the show notes. Okay, I'm going to go extra slow just so that you can...
so when I start drooling here, right, I'm going to be so embarrassed because that's what's going to happen if you don't hurry up.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so we've got our coleslaw, and now... Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Look at that. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, and it's still steaming. Yeah, there we go.
It's crispy. It's like, oh my God! It looks like it's fried. It looks like somebody get a Chick-fil-A.
I know it does. Do you want another one on there?
No. Well, I'll have another one. Okay,
how about I just give you? I'm just gonna give you this little guy on there. How's that?
Okay.
Now
I'm going to explain the bruises on my arm.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
On my back. Right?
Exactly. So this guy is actually pretty big. So I'm just gonna put one on there.
Okay.
And then
What's next?
What's next? I'm gonna put this down here. We're going to do the Bang Bang sauce.
So what's in that again?
So this is the vegan mayo that I always make. And it has some sweet chili sauce and a little bit of sriracha.
Oh, yeah. Getting my belly.
I know. We both love our mayo sauces, don't we?
Yeah, and the heat, too. I love the heat.
Yeah.
I think I like the heat more than you do, but it's still...
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And then, of course, some really big dill pickles. Oh gosh. I'm not
You're just torturing me even more, aren't you?
Okay, go.
Right.
Go.
You
can hear
the crunch, right?
Okay.
All right, can we try now?
We can try.
All right, here we go.
Oh, and it's messy and delicious and crispy and creamy and gooey and delicious. Oh my gosh. It's so, I know.
Unbelievable.
All right. Well.
All right, this is a home run right here.
This is a delicious way to reap all those health benefits that you are listing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And thanks again to our friends at Phillips Mushroom Farms for supplying us with these beautiful oyster mushrooms today, which we've turned into something she has turned into. Something unbelievably good. So see you next time.
Bye.